What's up and welcome to another episode of Gizmo Slip Tech. Today we're going to talk about the Galaxy S9 and the iPhone X. We're going to talk about the things that I care about, the things that matter to me, and the things that probably matter a lot to you. We're not going to talk about technical specifications. We're going to focus primarily on real world features that matter to you and me: the design, the usability, the entertainment factor, the battery life. Let's hop right into it. Here we go. Now, I'm also doing a giveaway of the Galaxy S9, so if you want to enter that giveaway, there's a link down below, and I'll remind you again at the end of the video. When it comes to the display, both the Samsung Galaxy S9 and the iPhone X come with Samsung-based OLED panels. That means they're both going to have similar levels of brightness and colors available on the panels. That said, each manufacturer can tune them a little bit differently. For example, Samsung usually tunes them just a little bit more color saturated, and the iPhone X is a little bit more color accurate. Both displays are ultra wide aspect ratios, though the iPhone X has an extra wide 19.5, while the S9 only has an 18.5 by 9 aspect ratio. Part of the reasoning for that ultra wide aspect ratio on the iPhone is to make room for the dreaded notch at the top. And if you want to watch the videos in full maximum potential screen size, you're going to have to deal with that notch on the left, and that can be really annoying. Overall, you get more effective screen real estate on the Galaxy S9 and especially on the S9 Plus. As far as cameras go, the iPhone X has a dual 12 megapixel, one wide angle and one telephoto, and then on the S9 you have just a wide angle, and then on the S9 Plus you have the dual 12 megapixel camera with the wide angle and telephoto again. Now, the iPhone X features various lighting modes and also a 3D front-facing camera for more accurate portrait selfies. Now, the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus's wide-angle camera is a dual aperture lens camera. That means it can switch from f1.5 to f2.4. This, in theory, would allow the f2.4 to be a slightly sharper image. Now, I have looked at photo comparisons between the f1.5 and f2.4, and I gotta say, I think the f1.5 is just better all around. And so to me, this feature is simply a gimmick. In the vast majority of instances, it's better to shoot at f1.5 because you'll be able to shoot at a higher shutter speed, reducing handshake blur, as well as adding more natural bokeh to your photos. Now, the iPhone X and the Galaxy S9 both feature 1080p at 240 frames per second slow motion, while the S9 features burst slow motion at a lower resolution 720p at 960 frames per second. It is only for 1/5 of a second at a time, or 0.2 seconds. That is a very narrow period of time, and it is going to be very hard to get your slow motion shots to line up perfectly. But when you do capture it perfectly with the S9, it'll look more epic because it'll be in 5 times slower motion. Now, which of these two devices is going to be better for consuming media, playing games, browsing the web? The better entertainment consumption device is definitely the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. Not only is the screen a little bit larger, but it has a better aspect ratio for watching videos and playing games. Now, both the S9 and the iPhone X have dual stereo speakers, one on the headset and one on the very bottom. Now, one advantage the iPhone X does have is a much faster processor and GPU. The processor will allow much faster 4K video rendering if you're into editing movies on your phone, and the faster GPU will allow you to play games at higher resolutions and higher frame rates. A good example of this is Modern Combat Versus, which plays far better on an iOS device than an Android device. Now, as far as usability goes, the iPhone X wins out here. It has a better keyboard, it's a little smaller, so it's easier to fit in your hand and use one-handed operation, and the narrower aspect ratio allows you to reach the top of the screen with only one finger much more easily than with the Galaxy S9 or S9 Plus. Now, the Galaxy S9 has a fingerprint sensor and the iPhone X does not. Both of them feature facial unlocking capabilities, but the iPhone X is going to work in the dark, be more accurate, and a little bit quicker. Personally, I prefer using a fingerprint to unlock simply because it's faster and it goes right into the home screen. With the iPhone X, once you've unlocked with Face ID, you also have to swipe up, so there's definitely an extra step with the iPhone X. The iPhone X has a smaller battery, but is more power efficient, making the two phones nearly identical battery performance-wise. Now, there's a lot of special features with both of these phones. With the Galaxy S9, you have a lot of augmented reality things like being able to try on makeup, create your own emoji with AR star emoji, language translation, and calorie counting. Now, I anticipate the language translation tool to actually work pretty well, but you could also do the same thing with an app like Google Translate, so there's nothing new here really. The self emoji creator on the S9 is a cool idea, but based on the examples I've seen so far, it doesn't tend to be super accurate. It's going to require a lot of tweaking in post. Now, you're going to be able to take the emoji of yourself and create 18 different emoticons all automatically, and then be able to use them in the messaging applications like Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. I think this is pretty cool, and I think a lot of people will end up using this. For the iPhone 10, you have Animojis and better face tracking. This is going to be applicable inside of Snapchat, or if you're wanting to send Animojis to your friends. It's going to track your mouth and eyebrows and facial expressions better. Overall, these are features that not everyone's going to use, so I mean, if it's something that you care a lot about, the iPhone 10 is definitely going to do this better. But then again, the S9 has your own emoticon that you're making based on yourself, so it depends on what you value more and which one you think is cooler, I guess. As far as storage goes, you've got a micro SD card slot on the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. The S9 comes with 64 gigs. The iPhone 10 can come with 64 or 256. So if you spring for the 256, you're gonna spend an extra $1 up front, but you're gonna have high speed, consistent storage. It's up to you what you think is better. But clearly the micro SD card slot is the cheaper bang for the buck if you're on a budget. Now, the S9 and the S9 Plus are the far cheaper options at $720 base cost or $840 base cost compared to the iPhone 10, which is $1,000 whopping dollars. The Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus are both far cheaper options, and I think offers a better overall package for the money. For me, if they made the iPhone 10 larger, which it sounds like they're going to do in 2018, and I'm gonna make a whole video about that in the future here. It looks like they're gonna make a 6.5-inch version of the iPhone 10, which I will absolutely love and will probably be my main phone, but we'll have to wait and see. The current version of the iPhone 10 just feels far too small. If I went back to an iOS device, I honestly think I would go to the iPhone 8 Plus. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I am giving away a Galaxy S9. The giveaway ends March 31st. If you want to enter, there's a link down below. That's it for the comparison of the iPhone 10 and the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got a lot of future videos coming out. We're going to be comparing the Galaxy S9 versus all kinds of other phones. All right, that's it for this episode of Gizmo Slip Tech. We'll see you next time. Brandon out.